Welcome all to the Investor Meet 2022. We are very glad you are here and we are honored to be hosting you today. Hopefully by now you've all had a chance to take a look at our Motherson Experience Centers that was in the corporate office on the second floor. If not, don't worry, you will get another chance in the second half of the day. Before we go any further, please let me call on stage our safety briefing coordinator for this event, Major Aprati. Major, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Motherson. Safety brief. This arena has two locations called Conference Hall and Trend Zone. You are currently inside the conference hall. It has got 5 emergency exits. 1 exit each is towards your right, left, and in front of you. 2 exits are exactly behind you, and the assembly area is 75 meters behind you. In case of an emergency, please use these exits to reach the assembly area. Safety coordinator is available inside the hall, and trained security staff is available outside this hall to help you in case of an emergency. Similarly, Trend Zone has 4 emergency exits and assembly areas remain the same. In the due course of this meet, you will also be visiting first floor. Like second floor, first floor has 2 emergency exits. It's as shown in the floor layout. 1 exit is near the lift and the other is at the back side of the floor. Floor emergency evacuation layouts and emergency exit signage are prominently displayed on the floors. In case of an emergency, please press the panic bar down on the emergency exit to approach stairs, climb down and reach the indicated assembly area at the ground floor. Trained security personnel are available on the floors to help guide during emergencies. Lift will not be functional during emergencies. Thank you very much. Have a safe stay and engaging event.
Thank you, Major, for the information. Now, everyone, before we move forward, I wanted to remind you, everyone around you, you will see wearing these lanyards. You will see 3 different colors. Our organization team is the one wearing the orange lanyard. They'll be able to help you with anything you might need today in terms of logistical issues or any questions you might have. Anything we can help with, we're happy to be there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, up next we do have the main event. To get the ball rolling, allow me to call on stage our Simul CFO. Most of you know him as our lean, mean finance machine. Please help me welcome Kunal Malani.
Thanks, Akshay. You're my best friend. Someone told me I'm lean. Mean, I hope not. Killer machine, we'll see by the end of the day. But good morning, everyone. Great to have you here. It's a Saturday. I know it takes a lot of personal commitment to be here. So we're very, very grateful for your presence here. Actually, maybe I should be saying, more importantly, we should thank all your spouses and family members to have allowed you to come here on a Saturday. But look, we met here last in November 17. It's been 5 years. Some familiar faces, many new faces as well. The world's quite changed. It looks like a completely different world now. But some things have remained a constant. As an example, as you're aware, we have our 5-year plans, and our endeavor to achieve these 5-year plans have remained a constant. We are here today in the halfway journey of our 6th 5-year plan, the Vision 2025. And we are very, very excited to show you where we are and how we will get towards achieving our Vision 2025. When we announced this event, a number of you have reached out to us to tell us what you would like us to showcase here, what you would like to see and hear. We've tried to incorporate many of these elements into the day. As an example, I hope everyone enjoyed the Motherson Experience Center, which showcases all our products and technologies. I shouldn't say all, it's actually only about 10% of what we do. But that's what we could fit in here. Don't forget, we have 300 facilities across 41 countries. Similarly, we have a trend zone after this, which will give you a flavor of how our products and technologies are evolving to meet some of the changing trends. We also have the entire team which actually makes this a reality. So please spend some time engaging with them, and they can certainly convince you a lot more about why we do what we do and why we are so good at what we do. I hope it'll be a very engaging and a pretty packed day. Unfortunately, we're starting a little late thanks to all the weather and traffic. But I hope that by the end of the day, you're as excited as we are on this journey, and at the same time as confident as we are to try and achieve our Vision 2025. Now let me please invite Vaman Sehgal to share his thoughts on our journey and where we are. Or maybe I should say, drive us on Route 36. Thank you so much.
Good morning and welcome everyone to our show here today. I take the cue from Kunal and thank you all for being here on a Saturday. I do apologize for the weather, but in Motherson we are not allowed to apologize for traffic, because if traffic is there, that means business is doing well. So not apologizing for traffic, but yes, for the weather, please excuse us. So welcome to our halfway point. It's very important meet for us. We as a whole team are quite excited to show you where we have reached. And it's important halfway point. It's exactly half of where we are in Motherson. I'm having some issues with the clicker, not working. As always, you plan for everything, but the easiest of things don't work. We can send people on the moon, but having a presentation work, without any issues is always a problem. Anyway, I think they are bringing it back up. Please excuse me. And hopefully it's going to work now this time. So welcome again from my side. This is the halfway point. My presentation is going to take you through exactly where we are. I might remind you also of our Vision 2025, what we stated to do back in 2020. The world was very different back then when we set on this journey, but that being that, we still have a long way to go. I'm sorry, it's not showing properly. Yeah, thank you so much. And I start again. I'm going to remind you what we started back in 2020. What is our vision for 2025? Where is it that we stand right now at that halfway point? And why is it that we stand where we stand? And then I'm going to hopefully answer a lot of the questions that you have. How is it that we're still going to get to that point of what we set ourselves out to achieve at Vision 2025? After that, we're going to open up the floors for question and answers, and you will have a chance to see the senior management team and ask questions if you do have any after my presentation. So let's get right into it. Everything starts at Motherson with purpose. We here at Motherson constantly aim to delight our customers and set ourselves seemingly impossible goals. The reason why we set ourselves impossible goals is that it's the only way we see that we can provide sustainable opportunities for growth for all our people here at Motherson and become part of something much larger than ourselves. We've been doing this for a long time. This is our 6th 5-year plan. And as you can see, if we hadn't set such large ambitious targets, there is no way we would have been able to achieve a CAGR of 32% year on year from the time since our inception. So setting large goals, seemingly impossible targets, it's what really propels us to unleash our full potential and deliver stellar results for all of us. But then again, you can really ask, Why do we set such high targets? And frankly, it's the only way that we believe that we can create value for our stakeholders. While doing that, it's also the way that we can create opportunities for all our people. Now imagine if we were one product, one country, one company. How many opportunities could we give to the people that are part of Motherson? By setting very high goals, trying to diversify, bring in more products, enter new countries, we give a lot of our people who have been with Motherson unlimited opportunity for growth. And finally, because we want to do something amazing and something really valuable. We believe that we have all the key ingredients in terms of an amazing team, sound principles of doing business, a strong philosophy, and we believe that we can really be the benchmark in the industry in manufacturing. And that's why we really set these targets. Now, let me refresh what is it that we are trying to achieve by 2025. To be a $36 billion company, but it's not just the top line, it comes with the bottom line. We just don't want to do it for an ego purpose or something like that. We want to be a $36 billion company with delivery of a 40% growth. On top of that, we want to be a diversified company. The reason for that is that if we are able to do different products in different geographies, so the 3CX stands for no country, no customer, no component to be more than 10% of our business. If we're able to do that, we can continue to grow no matter what market condition is really out there. And for the first time ever, we are actually targeting to do non-automotive in this 5-year period. This is stuff that I'll get into a little bit more in my presentation as well, but this is what we set out to achieve. And finally, we're going to grow, we're going to triple up from where we are right now while maintaining financial discipline and making sure that all our financial policies are intact. So, quite a heady mix. But I think it's important that you understand that all these targets are not just one-offs. They are interrelated. They have to come with each other, not at the expense of each other. And that is what ensures that we maintain good discipline and give comfort to all our investors that we're not doing acquisitions or not going for growth just for the sake of going after growth, but actually doing it in very proper, organized approach with financial discipline, head on our shoulders, and will be opportunistic in the market when we get windows to be able to achieve all these things. So, where do we stand today? You can imagine, announced it in 2020, as soon as that happened, COVID hit. But we didn't say, okay, let's delay by a few years. In fact, we reorganized ourselves. We said that, if we really want to be a $36 billion company in the next 5 years, some things in our structure have to change. There was a lot of feedback coming from our investors. The structure is complicated. We need it to be simplified. So we listened to all of you. We actually went through an exercise of reorganizing our entire company and putting all of the group under one umbrella. We reorganized, and now we have created 2 very successful and exciting companies. SAMIL, being the company which is completely diversified, has a large portion of the revenues, will house all the international acquisitions, and of course bring a very focused entity called MSWIL, which is again with our joint venture partner Sumitomo, where Motherson originally started, which will focus only on the Indian pass car wire harness business, which in itself is a huge market opportunity, as we know that India has tremendous potential moving forward in the automotive growth. So, 2 very exciting companies, market leaders in their own domain. One will focus more on the international side, one will focus more on the Indian pass car wire harness, creates 2 very exciting entities for all our investors. While working as one, we've also not just simplified the structure, we've also simplified all our branding, all our logos. So instead of having multiple companies and people not really knowing that where they belong, now everybody belongs under one logo, one brand, which is unified, all of us under one simple logo, Motherson, which you will see all around you and everywhere that you go. So this is a start of a new chapter. It's something that we call Motherson 2.0. And 2.0 is not just a number, it's an attitude in Motherson. It's a way that we are asking every single person in the Motherson family to imbibe certain principles, certain values, We want to be a company that becomes more agile now. As we grow in size, we're going to triple up in size. We're going to have to do something different than what we have done to get us to where we are. Especially in the world where there is so much volatility, there's so much uncertainty, we are pushing our people to have a fresh approach to deal with the challenges, be more dynamic, be more agile, be faster to react to any situation. And that's what we call is Motherson 2.0. I have a small movie that I hope you guys will enjoy and will explain more what I'm trying to say. So, as you can see, our platform is ready, and we were ready to really go after the 2025 targets. But since then, the world has become that much more uncertain and unpredictable. In fact, you see some research out there, researchers from Stanford are saying that the level of uncertainty that there's in the world and the range of the unexpected events that are happening are reaching extremes, which means that it's really hard to predict anything that's really going to happen. So extremes are getting more extreme, there's getting faster unpredictable events that are happening in the world that is making it very difficult to really have a plan. In fact, you have to be the fastest to respond to any situation, which is a much bigger strength than trying to predict it, because obviously that's not possible to do in our world anymore. When most of us, thought, okay, COVID is going to be 1 year, 2021 is going to be a much better year. Hey, we were hit with even more challenges. COVID, on hindsight, was just the start of a domino effect of a lot more problems that happened. Chip shortage, rising commodity prices, geopolitical situation in Europe, crazy levels of inflation, rising labor costs. All these things have hit us one after another. So there's two approaches, right? One say, hey, let's take a breather, let's take a break, let's postpone. Or the other approach which Motherson adopted was that this is the reality of the world that we live in. If you think 2022 is coming to an end and 2023 is going to be a better year, hey, don't hold your breath. I got news for you. New challenges are going to come up. And that's what Motherson 2.0 is about. That's what we are embracing ourselves and saying, hey, even in these tough times, even with these things that are constantly going to happen, we're not going to get a breather in a year. We're going to have to find ways and means to still grow, to still achieve our 2025 targets, no matter how difficult the world is really out there. So, needless to say, we've had the most challenging start to any 5-year plan in the history of Motherson. Not only that, as we saw that post-COVID, the 2021 time that we had, everything started to go up really unreasonably, irrationally, and there was a lot of cheap money available, there were a lot of acquisition opportunities available, and we had a lot of opportunities to really go and grab and bite, do a large acquisition, and actually have already achieved our $36 billion vision. You would have seen a lot of news articles that are saying that Motherson was, trying to acquire quite large companies. Well, frankly, if we would have done any of those things, in hindsight, we would have significantly overpaid for these businesses. And that's one of the reasons why you didn't hear large acquisitions that have not happened with Motherson, because we didn't see a path to 40% ROAS. So what I'm trying to say is we are patient. We've got a head on our shoulders. We're only going to go after a $36 billion target when we find a sustainable path to a 40% ROAS. But at the same time, we're not wasting time. Even though acquisition opportunities will come when the timing is right, we've actually focused on getting our house stronger. Reduced fat, leaner operations, and that is showing results on the organic side. While the inorganic is in art, organic is in our control. The teams have worked extremely hard. As you can see, our revenues annualized will be 12 billion this year. It will be a record for Motherson. And this is in an environment where the passenger industry has actually declined. There is a degrowth in the industry, yet Motherson is growing, is outpacing the industry growth by a good 8-9%. That is the magic of our teams. That is the hard work and commitment of these teams to make sure that even in the toughest of times, we find ways to grow. We don't guide on EBITDA margins, but we do obviously focus on our profitability. And that's why I think it's key for you to look at this chart and understand that we focus on absolute growth of EBITDA. We don't like to be judged on the percentages because, the fact is we're not a cement or a tire company where the product largely remains the same year on year. After every single cycle of 5 to 7 years of a particular program of the car maker, we have an ability to completely re-engineer, redesign, completely create a new product. Let me give you an example. Let's say for our mirror business, let's say the mirrors, which are simple mirrors, cost, and again, I'm just giving you an illustrative example, a pair of simple mirrors cost 10 euros. We have an EBITDA margin of 10% on those euros, so we make 1 euro in EBITDA. Now, the next version, and something that you will see in our experience centers, you are seeing mirrors coming up with highly embedded cameras, and the future will be perhaps only cameras. These are also things which we have already developed in-house. Now, these cameras will be priced, which will replace mirrors, which will be at perhaps 100 euros. Now, these 100 euro cameras, it's not that we're going to be producing every single part. There'll be a lot of stuff that we will be buying out. So, our EBITDA margins, because there's a lot more bought out content, will actually come down from 10% to perhaps even half, 5%. But the absolute growth in EBITDA from that 1 is now 5. It's a 5x growth, while the percentage of our EBITDA may look like it's halved. So please don't judge us on the percentages. Look at the absolute growth, and you can see in the chart that I'm displaying, there's been an absolute growth on the profitability as well, 23% CAGR year on year. So that is how you should be looking at Motherson. And don't get thrown off by the last few numbers, why that's coming down. This is the performance in one of the worst conditions with significant headwinds. The companies are still maintaining profitability. And just imagine what is possible when the market comes back and when the uptick happens, the effect that's going to happen to our bottom line there as well. What we do guide on, what we do focus on is ROAS. Here again, you might say, why is it at that 8% when your target is 40%? But here also you have to understand, ROAS is a journey. It's not something that happens overnight. For us to deliver ROAS, it takes a 5 to 7 year period for us to really make a company sustainable, put the necessary investments, win the new customer orders, and as those orders are taken by the company, the ROAS increases. So if we remove all the new plants that we have invested in, by the way, we have set up 41 new greenfield and brownfield plants in the last 5 years that are ready for new business orders to take off as the market comes back. So if we take out all these new investments in greenfield and brownfields, we take out the new acquisitions that we have done, because they too require investment, require for us to win the new orders from the customer and really show our true colors. If you take out one cycle, 5 to 7 years, you will see that this ROAS is already sitting at 19%. And that too in a very tough environment that we have right now. So again, please do understand our numbers a bit more deeply. That will give you an understanding of how Motherson is performing. And I'm sure, as you will see, as the industry becomes better and stronger and some of this noise on the macroeconomic side goes down, this ROCE will get much closer to that 40%. Despite the tough times, despite all the challenges, the teams have worked extremely hard to maintain our leverage and conserve as much cash as possible. In fact, some of the toughest times, Motherson has proven its capability by deleveraging in these times and conserving cash. Don't get thrown off by the 22 number. This is when the merger of SAMIL happened. So it's not an apple-to-apple comparison. And even with that merger, you can see that we are well below our financial policy of being under 2.5 times net debt to EBITDA. As the situation improves, as the working capital gets to open up because of the numerous macroeconomic challenges that we are having, again, we significantly believe that these numbers will improve and show you the delivery of where we want to be by 2025. So in short, the world is uncertain, yet Motherson has increased our revenues, maintained our profitability, is on a path of improving ROCE, while keeping our leverage well under control. We are strong, we are resilient. The good news about bad times is that they throw up some of the biggest opportunities. We doubled our turnover in the 2008-9 financial crisis by the acquisition of Visiocorp. That's how SMR came into being. It's now one of our strongest companies, delivering a ROCE of over 40%. Similarly with SMP, we believe that in these tough times is when the biggest opportunities for Motherson will come to. So not is all that bad. I think even though we're in tough times, it's good times for Motherson as acquisition opportunities will present themselves. But now you can still ask me, how is it that we are really going to get there? We understand that the opportunity is there, but how is Motherson really going to get there? So I'm going to break down these targets one by one, but I'm not going to do it by just standing here and constantly talking to you. I'm going to do it in true Indian style because in India we love Bollywood. So we've created a movie here in 8 parts, and I'm going to take you on a journey with me. Instead of me just standing over here and taking through numbers on the presentation, we have created an 8-part movie which is going to take you with me to numerous plants of us around the world for you to understand how Motherson is on a solid foundation and on track to achieve our 2025 targets. Let's see the idea of the film in the first part.
Hello everyone. In April 2020, we started our 6th five-year plan. That was 36 billion on the top line, with a 40% ROCE of course, and we also added 4 new verticals. I think it's a great time to have a midway update as to what's happening. And to do this, we have a perfect plan. We're going to call it Route 36. With Route 36, we're going to try and show you what we are doing to achieve our targets for 2025. But it's also necessary to understand why. What is the purpose of why we are doing this particular thing that we do every 5 years? The reason for me has always been to create sustainability of jobs for our people who are working and contributing to the growth of the company. So in this unsustainable world, very difficult world with lots of challenges, new challenges coming on a day-to-day basis, we have to find a way by which we can tell our people, this is where we want to be in 5 years from now. This is the way to go for it. We will look after our customers, we will look after our investors, and most importantly, we will look after our associates and the whole team of Motherson globally. It's important to understand that we don't do it only for the top line. The whole idea is to grow in a manner that the top line grows, there is opportunity for everybody in the world to grow, and also bottom line is met, so there is a sustainable way by which you can achieve this particular target. It takes a lot. A lot of people think that, a lot of companies are available for acquisitions, so we can go ahead and take any company possible. Please remember, acquisitions are a double-edged knife, It goes in cutting, it comes out cutting. So we have to be very careful, have a head on our shoulder to make sure that the acquisition that we do is a commitment to the workforce and as well to the customer that we will make it sustainable. But it's also important to do something which is bigger than all of us. Something for the world, something for everybody. And I believe that's an amazing target to get. There's Raman. Raman!
Oh, went in.
The car's ready.
I'm coming. Hey, this car looks good.
Come. Sit down. Raman, I think you should drive, and I'll try and catch up with you wherever we are going. But do you have a list where all we are going?
Yeah, Papa, I thought I'd go to Keshkamet, go to Mexico, go to a plant in Tuscaloosa, as many as I can do, while driving all the best cars and all our exciting products in our cars.
We just love our business, don't we?
And catch up with all the teams, because I haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah, and I think, Corona times would be a great thing for them to see us and all the new green fields as well. So we're going to have a good time with that.
Okay, Papa, I'm going to pack my stuff and get ready to go.
Yep, buddy, let's do this.
Bye, family.
Bye.
See you.
See you.
Have a great trip.
I'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Bye, family.
Bye. Bye. Have a great trip.
So I'm really excited to go on this Route 36 journey with you and show you so much more about Motherson. Route 36. But first up, here we come. So, welcome to Route 36 with me. I'm glad to have you on this journey. The first chapter of this movie is, of course, addressing revenue growth. And before I get into revenue growth, because that is a large part of how we are going to hit 36 billion, I want to take you to our strategy of growth in Motherson is the reason why we have grown to where we are today. It's what we call the value chakra. It all starts with having great performance. Focus on QCDDMSES. These are the parameters that the customer judges you on: quality, cost, design, delivery, management, safety, environment, sustainability. Whew, got that right. And as long as you do great in these parameters, the trust of the customer keeps going up. You rank in the top 0.5% of their ratings. They build trust. You know what? They come back to you and they ask you to do more. It could be different products. It could be growth in new countries. It could be acquisitions. It could be joint ventures. Whatever is the customer's problem right now, as long as they have trust in you, they'll come back and tell you to do more. They ask us to do more. We oblige. We take that on as a challenge. Our value content increases. As that increases, again, we become a preferred solution provider. We solve their problems. We focus on the QCDDMSES, and the chakra goes on and on and on. It is an endless upward spiral for us. As long as we do well, we are guaranteed growing business with our customers as we become an integral part of their supply chain. So, now I'm going to break down the organic growth into two parts, the revenue growth into two parts. First bit is, of course, the organic growth, which is more in our control. And for that, I'm going to take you on the journey with me again in the movie, and we're going to talk to Pankaj Mittal sir, who is the head of SAMIL and is well responsible for the entire wire harness division. And I'm going to show you two very fast-growing units in the group as well, in Mexico and in Hungary, and show you how they are helping us achieve our revenue targets. Let's see how they do it. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Route 36, and we are about to go on our first chapter. Hello. Hi, Pankaj sir. How are you? Okay, I can meet you there. Okay, great. Bye. Pankaj sir, hi.
Hey, Raman sir, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. How was your trip?
Yeah, travel is back to pre-COVID levels, I
That's
guess.
true, that's true.
Seeing all the plants, meeting all the people. Everyone's very excited, asking me about our growth targets and our ambitions. You know, if we're still keeping on to our 2025 target. So
Sometimes people don't understand why we set these targets, but it's exactly what you said. We see the excitement when we visit our plants and the ambitions each one of them have. These targets keep everybody motivated, and they take them to new places, and the new verticals which we have decided to set up, they are also coming out as great growth avenues for people to use their knowledge literally, and they're so excited about that. And more than that, also our customers, like they look up to us for something where they have issues or something new which they want, because we can do it either by ourselves or through joint ventures, partnerships, which we have made so many of them successfully, as well as through acquisitions wherever needed.
even though there is so much, turbulence in the world, and for us, growth is like this tree, right? It has to always happen. It's ever growing.
Absolutely. And if we don't have these bottoms-up targets which give them a venue of growth and utilizing their capabilities, it will be such a shame for us. So it's been really great. So thank you very much for giving these great opportunities to everyone.
So Pankaj sir, it was great catching up with you in this wonderful location under this beautiful tree. But where do you suggest I go next to see more pockets of our growth?
We can go to Acuña. That's where we see the next organic growth coming, Cash Commit. MTSL, that's the software side of us, and also the new aerospace business that's coming up in Bangalore. So that's again very interesting. And Vaman sir, another interesting location would be Japan. As you know, we have been working with the Japanese for such a long time to support the customers in India and other Asian countries. But now we are able to support the customers in Japan as well. And we recently set up the Hamamatsu Center. And I'm sure many more things will come. So it will be really good if you could visit Japan as well.
That's a good idea. Fantastic.
Thank you. See you, sir.
Now we're on our way to Keshkamet, our SMP plant, and this was our biggest plant actually before we built the Alabama plant, and they were rewarded with many new programs from our customers Daimler and the Volkswagen Group, and we're about to go and talk to them. How are you?
Well, I'm doing great. Good to see you in our plant in Keshkamet.
Yes, look at some awesome growth. So how are you managing the growth here given to us by the customers?
We are having a great team. In the last few years, we have been managing, build up of our talents. So I am absolutely convinced that we will be able to convert this into a success, as well as this will help us utilize the plant assets.
How many will you be with the new orders?
Well, we are making about 480,000 bumpers in a year, and our orders are going to increase this number by about 300,000.
Wow. So do we have the capacities available to be able to handle this
We have been looking at several scenarios, Vaman, and our approach was that by using our sister companies, we are going to ask them for help, built on collaboration, and some of the items that we produce currently will be managed by them, whilst we can concentrate on our core competence, which is the bumper fascia.
Fantastic. So we're sharing capex with our sister companies, not
CapEx.
investing more, yet bringing more business in-house.
Bringing more business in-house.
Fantastic. So have you brought new customers to this plant?
One of the customers has actually approached us, BMW, to do new product for them. New product that is not yet running in this facility. It is going to be one of the competencies that are existent in the Modules and Polymers division, which we'll be bringing to Keshkamet.
Fantastic. Great to see you. Congratulations on the success and keep growing Motherson.
Thank you very much and see you soon.
Wow, that was really interesting. Motherson actually owns a lot of extra land in this area for our future growth ambitions. Okay, and on to the next.
Viva Mexico! We are here in Acuña to see our wire harness plants, because this facility has actually got explosive growth coming up in the next couple of years, and we're going to figure out how they did it. So here we are. We have arrived in the facility in Acuña. Heading up to our plant now. It's one of the largest plants that we have in the region. Almost 10,000 people. Mexico would be the second largest place for us in wire harness after India. And also, a real statement of joy and pride is that we are the largest Indian employer here in Mexico.
Rico, great to be here. What an amazing plan.
Glad to have you.
Thank you
Thanks for
so
being
much.
with us.
And I can see it. It goes all the way from one end to the other. I mean, some amazing explosive growth that you're having over here. I want to understand, how did you gain the customer's trust to give you so much business?
You know what? A lot of times it comes down to executing on the business that you have today. You do a good job on what the customer is asking, you build the trust, and that creates a demand for more. We spend a lot of time focusing on how our customers define success. It's not the same for everybody, but then we work relentlessly to try and position our business around delivering that success.
Yeah, you're making it, sound easier than it is. For the training of the people, there was so much goes into it, into launching such a large plan. So what are you doing here that's made it so successful?
So we consider our people as our lifeblood. They're our best asset to serve the customer. So it's very important that we start there. And it's active community involvement, being engaged with the community, making sure that the plant is an extension of their homes. It's clean, it's safe. It's a way for us to tell our people that we value them. And then from there, they deliver the value that our customers are trusting us to deliver.
You're absolutely right. And talking about great performance, I mean, you have your traditional boards here, and you are also got the new age the tech boards here, so that really enhances the performance of our response time to our customers as well, right?
It does, it does. We have a mantra, that, means a lot to us in Mexico. The job of every employee in the company is to support the operator that's doing the value-added jobs that the customers are willing to pay for. And this digital board is a perfect example of that. Even with this launch that we have right now, we're humbled by the trust of the customer. And our focus isn't to sit and say, look what we did. That's yesterday's job. Today's job is, what are we going to do to earn that trust tomorrow?
I can really see that you're living continuous improvement in everything that you do over here. And that's why you guys are so successful. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you. Keep doing the great job, Rico.
Appreciate it.
Great.
I really want to thank you for taking the time and coming and seeing our launch activities here in AC2. It's been great to have you here today. And I'd love to have you back to see the production system running full bore for the customer. And,
absolutely.
We'll show it to you again.
And some tacos too.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Thank you. Thanks for seeing you. Thank you for everything.
Travel safe.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye. Mexico check. Off to the next one. So, here you saw in the movie real examples of how the Motherson Chakra works. You increase the customer's confidence, you're asked to do more products, more locations, more business, continue to perform, you keep on growing. Now, I want to take you to more details on how we really grow on the organic side. And I'm going to break it down into a few key themes that we believe are going to have a strong impact on why our organic growth is set for explosive growth coming up. The first one is obviously a no-brainer. We're actually at the lowest point of automotive vehicle production that we have seen in years. And we believe that this is bottoming out. We believe the worst is behind us. And as we move forward, volumes are definitely going to have an uptick. Why? First, there's a significant amount of demand backlog. And two, after COVID, people have really changed their preferences towards having a personal mobility. Most people that could believe that they could do with public transportation or the Ubers and Olas of the world have now realized how vital it is to have a personal mobility option in case of any emergency or strife. And in this uncertain world, as you can imagine, most people are gravitating towards it. So there's a significant backlog. Volumes are at their lowest point, and as the macroeconomic tensions start to ease, we believe that the next few years, and also looking at any of the industry estimates, we believe that volumes are going to uptick, and that obviously is going to have a dramatic impact on our organic growth and make sure that we outgrow the market as the volumes really pick up. The second important theme that we are seeing that I want to share with all of you is change in customers' preferences towards high-end vehicles. We are seeing that not only in the developed countries, but also in the emerging countries, we are seeing people wanting to choose more the higher-end version of cars, the SUVs, the premium vehicles over entry level. That means the sophistication, the maturity of the customers is getting there, and they're all opting for the premiumization that's happening in the vehicles, and that augurs very well for Motherson. As you know, Motherson is more exposed to the premium side, and our value and our content will keep growing as this continues to play out in the markets that we are present in. Even within the high-end models, there are lots of variants. Let me give you an example. For our plant in Alabama, where we're making the doors for Mercedes, there are more than 1,500 variants of just the doors that's possible. If that's mind-boggling, I want to make you understand that for the Porsches, for one of the very select cars that we make, there are more than 50,000 bumper variants that we are making. That's a level of customization that is being offered to the customers in the premium segment, and that augurs obviously very well for us. When there is more customization, more selections that the consumer has, that obviously drives our content more, our value more, and as you can see, for all our product groups, this means significant value and content increase as this is playing out for our markets. Now, this is an illustrative example. It is based on a set of vehicles that we have chosen. It will marginally change depending on the data set, but largely the direction holds extremely true. So, to summarize, as the premiumization is happening, as the customization is happening, as the shift is going towards the premium vehicles, we believe that our products are going to significantly increase in content and value as this shift really happens. Similarly, as you can see, what I was talking about before, even in the model variants within the shift from low end to high end, this is a meaningful increase, and that augurs for all our product groups as well. Some more than the others, and of course this will depend on the country, on the offering that we have within the high-end models, what are the different variants, and that's what I'm trying to tell you, that the customization and the selection that the consumers have now really helps Motherson to grow our value proposition as people are moving from low end to high end and the premium variant of that high end as well. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of questions about electrification, electric vehicles. Let me put all those questions to bed with one single comment. Motherson is powertrain agnostic. So no matter what car is going to be the car of the future, and we can really argue till the cows come home, debate endlessly when is it that electrification of vehicles is going to happen. We believe that our products, bumpers, door trims, mirrors, wiring harnesses, etc., will all still be relevant, will all still be value accretive for us and keep growing in value and content even when this shift happens. We have no meaningful products in the engine, which augurs very well for us. Now, we believe that there is a world out there where all cars will exist, all different options of powertrains, because there's a lot to be done to make only electric a reality. There is infrastructure problems, there is government support that is going to come in, regulations that are going to come in, technology developments that need to happen. I mean, there is so much out there that is currently unsolved. We believe that the future will be one of mixed reality. There will be ICE engines, there will be electric engines, there will be hybrids, there may be fuel cells. I mean, there is so much that is really out there, and the market which is so big and diverse that everything will survive. Again, I would request you to go and see some of our trend zones, because there you will see that no matter what is the future, Motherson's parts will be relevant, will have an opportunity for growth, and have a very exciting, bright future for us as the different levels of components do come in from our portfolio. Let's suppose for a minute that this EV does play out exactly how everybody is saying, and that all the challenges are overcome. Even then, as you can see, for all our products, there is meaningful increase in our value and content as the shift happens. So we are well prepared, we are well equipped, and this is also being shown by our order book. As you can see, our order book is at record levels at 18.2 billion. 37% of this is electric only. That means that the customer have the confidence and trust in us. Even with the newer technologies, even with the new vehicles that are coming, Motherson is winning significant orders and is growing in value and in content. So regardless whether these vehicles are taken on by the consumers or they still prefer the ICE engines, Motherson will still find pockets of opportunity for growth and be able to deliver on our organic growth targets for 2025. I hope I was able to explain that to you too well. The final, but perhaps the one that is most clear, is the theme of increasing security and safety in the car. This is undeniably happening in all countries around us, and this is something which is a big force from the regulators as well. And if you look at all the things that are going to improve the safety of the car, such as ADAS, airbags, LiDAR, radar, all these sophisticated sensors, cameras, which is going to help the drivers be more safe, they're actually coming on our real estate in the car. What do I mean by that? If you look at the car, the front bumper, back bumper, and the two mirrors, that's the key real estate in the exteriors. All these sensors, cameras, etc. are all coming onto our products. You as drivers that are using these sensors, cameras to get the information, where are you getting it inside the car? The dashboard. Well, guess what? That's a big part of what Motherson makes as well. So we have all the key real estate in the car and a huge opportunity to integrate all these technologies and give the customer one-stop shop solution to be able to do that. And we are completely free. We can design it ourselves, we can do joint ventures, we can do acquisitions, we can do technical assistances, we can work with startups. We have every option available to give the customer a solution that can help them drive into this direction. And that is why we are placed in a very exciting point in history with all the key real estate in the car under Motherson's belt. Again, I would direct you guys to the trend zones. You will see a lot of this playing out with our different partnerships, with the new technologies that we are developing, and creating exciting new products for the car makers to be able to offer to the final end customers who are driving these cars. I think I've spoken enough on the automotive side, and you would have gotten a good idea of how we are going to grow on the organic side in the automotive. Now let's shift the focus a little bit to talk about the non-automotive piece. I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of questions about that as well. But I think first it's important for me to tell you, it's not that we have just chosen these new industries by chance. We actually seeded these new industries in the last 5-year period. We first sat down and we thought about what are the strengths of Motherson. What is it that makes us really good and strong on the automotive side? Our engineering capability, our operational excellence, our ability to give the customers global supply chain solutions, and all these good attributes and strengths came up of why we are strong on the automotive side. We picked them, we analyzed them, and we said, where is it that we can use these strengths to give us the highest chance of success in the new industries? And that's how we came up with these 4 verticals. Now, before I dig into each one of these verticals, I'm obviously going to take you into the next part of the movie, where again, you're going to go and see one of the new facilities in the aerospace, one of the acquisitions that we have done, and how wonderfully that is supplementing our growth. And also, Our technology division, Mind is the backbone, or new name is MTSL, it's Motherson Technology Solutions Limited. And you see how using software competence that we have built in the group over 20 years is really helping us to achieve our growth targets and make our company a secure one and be able to go for our 2025 targets. Let's see it together.
Whoa, Mexico's really something, huh?
So now we're off to MTSL, formerly known as Mind, the software company of Motherson, and also it's known as the backbone of our entire group. Rajesh, this is a very impressive security control center that we have here. What are some of the new products and features that you're launching to support the group?
So beyond our Industry 4.0 solution, which is traditionally has got better adoption because of COVID, everyone wants their plants to be up and running without a manpower. That is the expectation of people. So we want to launch a future-ready Industry 4.0 services, which is completely integrated with cloud and along with our digital services. Now what happens is we also want to launch this as a PaaS, platform as a service. I want this to be easily adaptable and scalable. We want to work on a model where you use and you pay. If you want to use more, you pay more. If you are not using, you pay less.
So Rajesh, how is MTSL making sure that our company is secure today in this world of so many cyber attacks?
Laksh rightly said, this was there in our mind because you have seen that the cyber attacks have gone multifold in last 1 or 2 years. So we have invested in world-class industrial security operations center, which you can see here. The first thing, if you see here on this dashboard, that every plant and in every country, we have networked and we are monitoring it live 24/7. Now, once we monitor it, you see here, they are the threats which are being detected. And as an average, we're getting around about 100 threats, which my team is proactively monitoring and stopping that. This is how we are making sure that the group is absolutely secure.
So I'm so glad we're keeping security in our own hands and doing everything proactively to stop it right here. So Rajesh, that's really good that we are growing the business within the Motherson group. But tell me something about outside.
I have targeted auto, manufacturing, health and pharma segment. The moment my person walks in and say he's from Motherson, he says, okay, come, we know you. Because they know that Motherson runs their plants very effectively, their processes are very strong. They say, can you do the same thing for us? And we have more than now 200 external customers in less than 2 years.
That's fantastic. So not only domestic traction, but internationally as well.
Now we are present.
Well, let's hope you deliver them flawlessly.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here with us. Thank you very much.
Oh shoot, I need to fill up the tank. Luckily there's a petrol pump right over here on the left.
हाँ साहब
Hi माँ, हाँ भर दो यार,
भर दो।
पूरा भर दो, लंबी ड्राइव पे जाना है। Yeah माँ, I'll be gone for a while माँ, it's a long drive. Just started to do all the plans. Yeah, ma. Seeing a lot of exciting things happening in our plants. Well, I'll be home soon, ma. Ah, ma. Yeah, ma. It's been a long trip. It's going to take some time. बढ़िया.
सलाम साहब
Okay.
आइए साहब डीजल है क्या आइए आइए
Please don't put that on the film. I just love driving in India. It's just such an adventure. So we're in Bangalore now, and we're here to see Sim Tools, the first acquisition of Motherson in the aerospace vertical, and our first step towards diversification as part of our 2025 plan.
Capability, or whether we do it in a JV. So this is one of the key things which we need to do.
So coming to the question, how is the integration going with Motherson so far?
Seriously or joking?
Bit of both.
Okay, right. Integration has started off very well. Though as individual standalone company, Sim Tools, we had a certain level of growth which we were foreseeing, but the problem was of the constraints what we had as promoters, because who were our investors? We were our investors. Our wife, our family was our investors. Because there was nobody else. But now today it is more disciplined, because and we feel today we are sitting on public money. We can't put a number to integration, to number to the
That much more
responsibility we have. That's much more accountable we are.
Customers feel that as a huge advantage.
You want an inorganic growth, you tell us, we are there. And what we as individuals dreamt, and 5 years down the line, I think that has gone X times.
Oh, that's very kind words. I love that. But so Kunal, great acquisition, fantastic people, just blown away by the shop floor and the products. Where does Motherson go from here?
Marvin, this has given us a lot of access to the customer, and it's opened up doors not only in growing detail parts business, but there are other conversations we're having. We're talking about interconnect systems today. We're talking about plastics. We're talking about interiors, and of course, we're also looking to add capability to Sim Tools to provide a better proposition to the customers and be a one-stop shop.
Help me out with the stickers, please. Now that we've had this acquisition, Kunal, how do you feel about our Vision 2025?
I feel a lot better today. I think there's still a lot to be done, but the access that we have to our customers, I feel very optimistic about the target.
Never give up, buddy.
Have a great ride.
Thanks for everything.
And a safe one, and buckle up.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. That was really awesome, yeah? Motherson's first step in diversification. Motherson Sim Tools. Watch out, big things coming. And now we're off to the next adventure. So that was a real familiar face at the gas station, huh? It's not every day that your gas tank gets filled by a superstar. So I hope you were able to get an insight on how we are growing with the new verticals as well. You saw that we are using our strengths that we built in the automotive side and moving to new industries such as the aerospace. And for us, now I'm going to dig a bit deeper into each one of these verticals. Each one of these verticals has strategic importance. not to forget that with the strength that we have on the software side with MTSL, we are able to really transform these companies very fast. So let's get into it. On the aerospace side, I don't need to tell you this, the opportunity is quite large for the products that we are targeting. On the top, we already have existing capabilities and we are using the same machines in the automotive side. Of course, we have to change up what we do in the certifications, etc. But that's exactly what we were able to leapfrog with our acquisition with SimTools. Some fantastic people share the similar philosophy, very hungry, very driven, focused on mother-son principles, quite similar to how they were doing their business. And, that has been an excellent partnership for us. We have been able to obviously use the strength that we have on Motherson to bring it to SimTools. SimTools' strength with the customers already allowed us to increase the trust with the customers, give the strength of Motherson's capability on a global footprint, be able to expand their order book online, and we're seeing the results of that very fast. Already, together with Motherson SimTools, our order book has doubled in a very short period of time. We are building 2 more facilities for the increased order book, and a lot more things are to come. This is the same play that we want to use for the different verticals that I'm going to talk about. Partner, get in together, use the strengths of each other, significantly grow the order book, and look at international expansions that can really leapfrog the division into a new level altogether. Again, some of these products are available in our trend zones in the display center. Please go have a look at them. It makes us extremely proud that now, apart from vehicles that touch land, we are now looking at vehicles that fly in the air as well. The next vertical, the logistics side. The thinking over here was quite simple, really. We have a very large internal opportunity in Motherson. We spend more than $300 million on our internal logistics. The idea was get in there, look at consolidating this fragmented supply base, drive synergies, drive benefits to our own group, and once we perfect it, we can take this as a service to outside as well. Already with a 3PL operations, we're handling more than 15,000 shipments per month, and this is set to grow on an international base as a next step. We have also identified opportunities in XM and 3PL, and again, this is where we are going to grow moving forward internally first, setting the foundations, getting it right, understanding the business, then growing outside, and then to external customers. Secondly, we've also identified packaging. Internal packaging for us is more than $150 million spend. Again, there's huge opportunities to consolidate this, drive efficiencies, and also have a sustainability angle by doing this in a more sustainable, environment-friendly way with returnable packaging, etc. There are new concepts that we are developing here that can address not only our internal spend, but be able to grow this as a service externally as well. And finally, we also have a joint venture. I'm proud to announce that we have partnered up with Hamakyorex-san of Japan. They are an industry leader of transporting finished vehicles from the dealerships, from the car factories to the dealerships nationwide. And again, in a short period of time, we're already transporting more than 2,500 cars a month. And as the Indian auto industry grows, I think you are all seeing that there is huge upside potential in the growth in the Indian automotive sector. This business is going to grow largely from there as well. Health and medical. As much as I would like to say that we are discovering the next COVID cure, unfortunately we are not. We're again using the strengths of what we have built in the automotive side. Engineering, our competencies in plastics, electronics. These are all what we want to supply to OEM manufacturers who are manufacturing devices and are looking for good, reliable suppliers to help their supply chain. When we got a lot of these medical device manufacturers to our facilities in the automotive side, they were blown away. They saw our focus on quality, our focus on zero defect, how we can give them the same quality product regardless of where the world that they are in. And while they have a very fragmented supply chain, this is something that excited them very much. So as you can see, using the strengths that we have built in Motherson, using our competencies, a very big addressable market, using our synergies, we can grow quite rapidly in the medical space as well. In fact, from getting the confidence from the customers, executing small orders. We are now building our first greenfield plant, especially on the medical side. It's going to come up in Chennai. It's 10,000 square meters. We're going to introduce new technologies here that are not available for our customers to be sourced from India. This is going to help us grow the top line and have solid profitability margins as well, to make sure that we can deliver 40% ROCE. And this facility is almost up and ready. It will get all the certifications, and again, we'll use the same play that we did in the other verticals, or what we did in the automotive. Deliver on the customer first orders, the pilot orders that they're giving us, give them the confidence, and scale this up rapidly, and as well look at acquisitions to leapfrog the scale as well. Finally, but perhaps the most important, the technology side. In the past, this company has only focused on Motherson. It's been a key reason of our success. Our software and technology company, MTSL, is the reason why we are successful in all our acquisitions. See, the most important thing for us when we do acquisitions is getting reliable data. And this is where MTSL comes in. They go to any facility of ours or the one that we have acquired in the world, very quickly plug into the data and give us the relevant information we need to drive process improvements, to drive operational improvements, to make sure that we can deliver that 40% ROCE and take good decisions in the business that can help us grow business. So focusing on cloud, focusing on infrastructure, which they have done for us, they're taking these same softwares and now for the first time going outside. And like Rajesh was saying in the video as well, they've got a significant feedback that this is very welcome from the external customers as well. While the Motherson business is growing, you can see that even external business is growing because of the huge pull and reputation that this company has at building very, very low cost yet very stable advanced technology and software for manufacturing companies. And as you can see, the result is there in front of you, a CAGR of more than 20%, and I believe again will have explosive growth in the future as well. Now that I have explained the organic side, let's tackle the inorganic side, which is going to be obviously the large part of the 36 billion is where that's going to come from. But before I go in there, of course, it's going to be the next part of the movie. But this part of the movie is going to focus on something very strategic and important. We recently announced an acquisition in Japan. And for us, this was a very, very strategic move because while we were present there, we didn't have a manufacturing facility in Japan. Now that we will have a manufacturing presence and facility in Japan, it completely changes the future for Motherson in that region and the possibilities we have with Japanese OEMs. Let's understand why.
So, Papa, we're back in Japan.
Yeah.
Where it all started.
Absolutely. I was way back in back in 1979. So think about it, you know. But I think the difference now is that this time we are also giving back.
So it's like a full circle, Papa. First we came, you know, looking for help to get started, and now the customers are asking us to come and support them in their operations there.
That's true, which is fantastic between the two countries, I think.
And now we have our first manufacturing plant in Japan. Your dream.
But they are...
およそ300メートル先、左方向です。まもなく左方向です。その先、2キロ先、新環状方面です。
You'll have to stop. Can you put this off because it keeps talking? The lady keeps talking.
Sorry.
I think now the chance is very good for you to actually make it happen. I remember the guy called Mr. Ito. He tells me, I have to teach you how to see with chopsticks. So guess what? I try to catch the peas and they go flying all over the room. And yet they care about green. So you see patches of green, small kind of lungs everywhere, wherever they get a chance. This opportunity that we got of owning the company in Japan will help us to pay back better.
There's so much to learn from Japan.
Yeah.
How they use space, how disciplined they are.
They will find ways and means to improve on almost anything and everything. Think about Kaizen, suggestions. We're meeting the SAML team and the chairman of the Japan team today for lunch.
This is the space. And the Japanese food.
And the rice. Wow! So, which of the options looks most promising?
One is mirror business, and this is M&A. We will get in a facility in Japan, in the group. And then also we get in a facility in Hamamatsu, supply to the passenger car maker. This is one of the big step for us.
I agree with you, because most probably one of the things that was missing was engineering base, design base, production base, and Japanese people, Japanese plant, Japanese workforce. That gives a lot of confidence to the OEMs.
The customer asks us always, do you have a facility? No, we don't have any facility for logistics. So, not so happy to say that. But now I want to have a facility like a mirror business. So we can easily to approach the Japanese customer in the future.
And the other this thing is also that we have gone from commercial vehicles to passenger vehicles. This is for the first time.
This is very important to open up in the business.
So how did you do it? Because everything had to be done less than 3 months because the production was getting stopped at the customer. How did you do it?
We asked Hamakyo Reku-san to help us because we had a relationship for this few years since when we had a joint venture with them named Hamrex in India. So they have helped us a lot. They have sent up people and give the the premises for us, and we can set up the warehouse in Japan. And also they have sent technical advisors.
So with great communication, amazing teamwork, and using our strength of our partnerships, you were able to make it happen.
That's one thing that Motherson has always done. It has kept all three avenues very strong. Can we do it ourselves? Can we do a joint venture? And then, if nothing, can we do an acquisition? So these three avenues, whatever happens in the future also, must be kept open. So, Matsumo-san, how do you feel about, it looks very small, but I think it's important. What do you think about the Ichiko, this thing will do to SMR?
This Ichiko M&A will bring a lot to our company, SMR and Motherson as well, because this is our first manufacturing footprint in Japan. Also, it's the first development center we will get in Japan as well. Many of the Japanese OEM makes their global models, design their global models and develop in Japan, and we didn't have that access to those global models. But now, with their strong technical support there, we'll be able to not only grow business in Japan, but also globally as well.
So now that we have acquired the company in true Motherson spirit of ROAS of 40%, what are the opportunities to improve the bottom line so that we can deliver our return as well to the shareholders?
So the synergies will be to have the Motherson's global strength in purchasing or supplying, and also opportunity to expand into other areas, locations outside of Japan.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. It's been a really amazing trip. And what I'm taking with me from this trip is that we are really building a solid foundation for Motherson, for our growth, not only in the region, for the customers here, but for their global ambitions of what they want to do. So it's really exciting, and it's amazing to sit together with all of you and eat and talk and laugh face to face and celebrate the success that you have made in such a short time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much as well. Thank you. It's very good. Thank you very much. Good trip. And thank you very much.
Another chapter done. Off to the next one.
So I hope it was easy for you to understand how important actually being in Japan is for us. Actually, it was always my father's dream to have a manufacturing facility in Japan since we started our first business relationship in Japan, and it's finally a reality. But of course, the important bit is that look at the influence of Japanese OEMs in the world today. They have 30% market share of all cars that are produced in the world, so they have a very prominent position and something that is extremely important for us. And like was explained in the video, a lot of the decisions for these platforms, not just in Japan, but globally for them are made in Japan. So when you do have a facility in the local area, talking real time to the car makers, talking in their language with the local face, it has a completely different impact and opens up a lot more opportunities for Motherson to not just grow on the mirror side through the Ichiko acquisition, but also for our new footprints. Just like Ichiko, in the short period of time of 2.5 years, we have announced 7 acquisitions. We have been extremely picky because of the tough market conditions, and all of these acquisitions have strategic importance to us. We only choose those acquisitions where we see a clear path to 40% ROAS, because the world is actually quite a difficult place to be in, and there is a very tough market environment. Interest rates are at record levels. The leverage market has practically disappeared. Peers are over-leveraged as they've taken on significant amounts of debt by mistiming the market. And the result is that lesser deals are happening because there aren't enough players who have the appetite to go out and do acquisitions. Yet, the macroeconomic problems remain. Our customers are having problems with suppliers who are not able to keep up. And the result of that, Motherson becomes the partner of choice. Why? Because the customers are looking for strong partners who are able to absorb these underperforming assets, and Motherson, with a strong balance sheet, being a trusted partner, and our ability to quickly turn around these companies, becomes the partner of choice for car makers. Hence, our pipeline is completely full. We are assessing more than 50 live opportunities right now, handheld by the customer. And again, the reason why customers are choosing us is because we are a focused long-term partner for them. Motherson does not buy and sell companies. Motherson buys and grows companies. Motherson invests in companies. We make these companies sustainable and competitive over the long term. So our pipeline is full. As you can see, it's not just in the products that we are in. It's in different products. It's also in different verticals. And I'm sure that some of these will click, which will help us to get to our $36 billion figure. Yet, don't be fooled. We don't get too excited just looking at the opportunities that are over there. We have a very clear and robust evaluation framework, which is very stringently controlled in our group. The first bit, of course, it has to have the customer's blessing. If the customer is not supporting the acquisition, Motherson will not even consider it, no matter how attractive it looks. Secondly, it has to be able to mark the financial criteria, and we must see a path to be able to get it to 40%. Our operating teams must tell us what are the synergies that they can drive, what are the things that we can do to do better than what they're already doing, and have a better fate for this company than it was in the past. Every single acquisition is led by an operating team who will handhold it, who will take the responsibility to put the Motherson DNA, to put the Motherson values in it, and make sure that it gets turned around in the shortest period of time, and not that it is just, an orphan somewhere and hoping that things will change for the future. No. Very, very strong control over which acquisitions we go for. We're extremely picky, and there has to be a leading team which will take the responsibility and say, yes, I will drive this acquisition. I will take the responsibility to make sure that it gets turned around. That's how we can do multiple acquisitions at the same time. As different teams focus on different parts, have responsibilities of different areas of growth, we can do multiple acquisitions at the same time. Now, that's all great. The pipeline is full, but I'm sure your question will be, does Motherson have the financial wherewithal to go for these acquisitions? Let's look at another illustrative example. Based on the analyst reports that you guys are writing, what headroom does Motherson have? Based on the profitability that you guys envisage us to have, of course, I'm going to push the teams to do even better than this, but envisaging on average, what is the profitability that you guys envisage Motherson to have in the next few years, and the easing up of the macroeconomic conditions, which will help us with the working capital release, etc. We believe that on a conservative side, we will have about $2.3 billion of headroom growth for ammunition to go after acquisitions. 2.3 billion, hey, you still have targeting to be 36 billion. So what is 2.3 billion going to get us? So 2.3 billion is a conservative headroom that we have. We believe that having still following the Motherson principles and the values of being value buys, we're not going to go and buy something ridiculous. We are going to still maintain our financial parameters. We will look for companies that are not operationally so well off, because that's where we can really drive our synergies and deliver a 40% ROAS. So looking at companies, and again, this is an illustrative example to give you an idea of what is possible for us to reach on the top line. Looking at a company at 5 times enterprise value to EBITDA, with still maintaining the 2.5 times financial leverage principle that we have, with basic 6% EBITDA margins, we believe that a $15 billion top line company is available for Motherson to acquire. Now, this $15 billion might be 3 $5 billion ones, one big one, I don't know. It will depend on what opportunity comes at what time and which customer is allowing us to go and really do it. So 36 billion is much closer than we do, fear it to be like too far away. No, it's actually possible with just one acquisition. Even if these financial parameters are a little bit different to what we end up acquiring, we have more levers in our hand. For me and for my father, equity is very, very important. It's very, very valuable to us. But for us to be able to hit our targets where all the financial metrics have been reached, and if there is some stress on the leverage policy, we will look to even at last, as a last case scenario, dilute or raise equity or use our equity as currency to do mergers or do partial stakes. Many opportunities are there. Like I said, for Vision 2025, we're going to have a different approach to what we have had so far to deal with the new circumstances that there are in the market. So we are going to be creative, we are going to be imaginators, true to our DNA, and we'll figure out a good path to get to 36 billion while maintaining our financial discipline. So, one acquisition can change the whole situation up for us. So please don't think that we are too far away from 36 billion. One acquisition in itself can change the whole game. But we're not getting excited. We are driving with caution, and we are making sure that we remain focused on value buys and don't make any mistakes with large acquisitions, making sure that everybody is well disciplined in this approach. So I'd like to summarize now with what is it going to be that is going to get us to the $36 billion target. I have taken you through the organic side, I have taken you through the inorganic side, and I want to summarize that. The first step, like I said at the start, the volume growth. The industry is at the bottom. As the volume upticks, our organic growth is going to grow. The second one is electrification. As electrification is going to happen, our content is going to grow. You saw that in the charts that I showed before. Then the content and value increase through the shift in consumer preferences on the preferences of car. As they move from the lower end models to the next end, you will see that again our content and our sales is going to grow. And finally, supplementing that with the acquisition opportunities, we layer that up with all these drives that are going to happen on the organic side. The inorganic, one large acquisition that could take us up to 15 billion on the conservative side. We are very close to the 36 billion. With that, I complete the chapter of revenue growth and move to the next chapter of our journey, which is 3CX10. Now, this is a fundamental pillar of Motherson. The reason why we have been able to grow over our entire history is because we have focused on diversification. 3CX10 means no country, no customer, no component to be more than 10% of our business. This was all the way up to 90% when we started. As you can imagine, when my father started the business, we were only focused on Maruti Suzuki. And over the gradual 5 years times, we have got this further and further down. Now, what this enables us to do is to be able to grow even though there are problems in the world today. And as always, I'm going to take you on the movie, on the journey with me in the movie, and I'm going to take you to 3 plants and talk with Char, who's the head of our polymer division, and show you 3 locations in Turkey and also in Hungary and Morocco, where we have significantly been able to grow through the diversification strategy. Let's see how.
It's always nice to be back in nature and seeing you in your prime. Discuss with you about 3CX10, how that's going. You know, in the last 5-year plan, we had 3CX15. And this year, this 5-year plan, we're moving to 3CX10. Do you think it's helping us?
Oh my God, this is absolutely quintessentially important for us. I mean, it's pivotal to have diversification of customers, product, and locations. Today, one OEM is doing excellent and the other ones are poorly. And if you don't have those multiple sinusoidas, then you are too exposed to one or another. And then you are following that pendulum from good days to bad days. And so diversification and 3CX has been very, very important for us.
So glad to hear that. You know, as these trends are coming towards electrification, etc., we must not forget that all these developments are happening in the core countries where the customers, you know, have started from. So being close to them, like you were saying, enables us to get first view at the engineering, at the opportunity to win those programs and to be their partners globally.
Being in the premium vehicles like Porsche, like BMW, Daimler, and you name them, you know, helps to be in that forefront, that avant-garde of the technology. That has been a very important part of the diversification, that, you know, component diversification where, you know, we have a whole spectrum of a proposition that makes us so much stronger and more balanced in our portfolio. Our ambition is today to go into aerospace, to logistics, medical, to capitalize on those lessons learned that we had, gained that excellence, knowledge of how to run a business successfully in very tough automotive environment, and take those learnings and apply to those industries where we are not yet present.
So next 5-year plan, we're going to go for 3CX5. You're going to be ready for that?
We are always looking forward to that.
Well, it's a real pleasure to be here with you, Char, and it's always great to have a chat with you and see how well the group is progressing. Glad to be on this journey with you, man.
Where are you going next?
Who knows?
Well, I would propose or suggest to you that you should go to Mosfet Magyarovar. SMR has launched very successfully a new camera monitoring system. A good place to go is also Morocco. Just recently opened a new facility in Tangier. Well, I would suggest to go to Turkey, Plasmet. It's a new facility for SMR. Well, Bombardier in UK would be probably a good idea. Yeah. I mean, there are so many places, boss. Good luck.
With this highly volatile world that we live in, we want to make sure that not all our eggs are at any time in one basket. So guys, we're in Turkey. We're taking the ferry across the Bosphorus. Turkey is very important because it's a new country for us. It opens up a completely new market, and we love the Bosphorus. Other than it being an amazing view, it also serves as a very important waterway between the Mediterranean and the Black Sea, just for your information. Here we are. SMR Plasmet. Hello, how are you? Yummy, thank you. So tell me, how does it feel like being part of the Motherson family?
It was very exciting period.
So what opportunities has that opened up for the business?
2 opportunities for Motherson Experience Tooling Shop for us. Also, we will have a chance to work Tier 1 to OEM.
That makes sense. So what are the real operational improvements now that are possible now that you're part of Motherson?
Robust automotive process and automations, and additionally these opportunities we will improve the process. This shop floor produced a very detailed tool for OEMs.
And high accuracy, and it has to be high aesthetics also. So they have a lot of skill to make the tools.
Yes, of course, they are working more than 10 and 15 years.
So what does, bring in a new country, Turkey, you think bring for Motherson?
The new customers and the new product portfolio and we can provide the tool all Motherson companies all over the world, east and west, and that's why we have a bridge for supply chain and material flow.
It becomes an important hub that we can supply all our customers, not only in Europe, but also for their growth ambitions for other places in the world.
Yes.
And a lot of capability here. That's what I've seen when I've walked around and I've seen the people. They're very passionate.
Turkish people really like work. They put their hearts.
That's what we love at Motherson, you know. I'm sure it'll open up a lot of opportunities for us. Bye. So Levente, what's your approach to 3CX10 here in Hungary?
3CX10 is extremely important for us. First of all, from the customer point of view, we started after the Motherson acquisition with 6 customers and now 17 customers. This will give us a lot of opportunity to grow also our other product range.
And Levente, how did you go about developing this complex camera technology?
The biggest difficulty was how to transfer from a mechanical world, mechanical engineering world, how to transfer everything into electronics, software, hardware, optics, safety. But we did.
So tell me about these special yellow marker features that I'm seeing on the screen.
Called overlays, and support the truck driver to find the accurate position in a 10 centimeters accuracy.
10 centimeters
maximum.
Wow, it looks fantastic. Great job.
Thank you.
Warning that Mr. Levente is coming.
Yes, there is a moving object.
So what were the advantages that the customer saw when they saw this product?
The image quality improvements. We use 2 cameras per wings. The blind spot elimination by this system is the significant achievement on the development side.
Very exciting product. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
You know, 3CX10 is such a big driver for the group.
Absolutely.
And that's why this facility is special, because it's actually bringing in, you know, a new perspective to Motherson.
Yes, so we have a quite long relationship and cooperation in the rolling stock industry, which is a non-automotive business to Motherson. And we were luckily joining the Motherson family in 2017. And shortly after that, our customer, Bombardier Transportation, in those days gave us the opportunity to look into the assets here in the UK. So it would be for us a new customer in UK. It would be for us new products here in that country. And
We were so lucky to close the deal in 2019. We took over a great team here in UK, and we also took over new products which we are supplying here in the United Kingdom to the rolling stock market.
And amazing, and I see such long wire harness lines. I've never really seen that before, but you doing this complex job for the customer. I'm sure now the customer being happy with the work that we're doing here is opening up possibilities to doing even more.
The customer wants us now, for instance, to go to Australia. He gave us opportunities in Mexico. He gave us opportunities in the US. So we have started recently activities in India for the rolling stock market. So it was an absolutely great move to expand, to grow.
Oh, fantastic. Helps us to balance out what's happening in the automotive side by, getting into more of the non-automotive. And what I'm hearing from you is wire harness is not going to be the end. There's going to be multiple products that open up. That's exciting. This has opened up many doors with the customers, and I look forward that this will allow us to expand even faster and bring in diversification for the group. Great to see you, Andre.
Yeah, thank you, Baba.
See you soon.
Thank you.
So I'm really glad that we got to see that facility at Derby. It's amazing to see how we are diversifying out of the automotive with new customers here in the UK, but it's also going to open up doors to do a lot more products for these new customers and help us deliver Route 36 in our Vision 2025. Off to the next one.
We are going to the Moroccan plant now, the new one?
Yes, the new one.
Wow, yeah. In spite of the COVID, we've built the plant here. Amazing.
Absolutely, it's a expansion for us in the region from the old plant to the new plant.
Yeah. How far is the factory, Marvin?
To be honest, we should have been there by now. I am actually not getting any good signal anymore, so might have missed a turn. Are you getting signal on your phone?
No.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
You're right, Papa. This definitely does not look like a factory.
Boss, we are going to the beach. Oh! Wow. But I was a camel person, yeah?
You sure? You think he'll know?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Bonjour, monsieur. Motherson, the fabrique Motherson factory. Where?
Motherson.
Motherson, yes,
Motherson.
Yeah, yes.
Motherson that way.
Je ne comprends pas.
Looks nice, huh?
SMRC is proud to have added a spot on Motherson map because we are the only company within Motherson who is in Morocco.
Yet.
We consider Morocco as a country that will align perfectly with this strategy of our group.
Because Morocco is at the border of Southern Europe and Northern Africa. And we even export to Argentina.
The target for the country is to reach 1 million cars per year.
How big is this plant as compared to the last plant?
This plant is 3 times more than
Three
Japan
times.
plant.
Wow, that's amazing.
And in terms of customer, what we believe is that there will be OEM generalists from Germany coming here. And we know that there are important talks between the Morocco government and Asian OEMs.
Wow.
And if you ask our plant manager, he'll tell you that his aspiration is 100 million. 100 million.
We'll challenge him.
How are you building the Motherson brand here and attracting more and more people to come to this factory to work?
it was difficult in the first because changing the town and far from family, but we bring the team here during the construction. We show the new plant with the best condition, and also we take in charge the transportation costs.
So how many of them moved from the old plant to the new?
All
moved.
100%.
Wow. So I think you have a wonderful team. You've demonstrated you can move from one plant to a much bigger plant, 3 times bigger, without compromising on quality or the customers. It's a wonderful job done by you, and I hope that we can build this plant even 10 times bigger.
Papa actually got a really interesting call from the customer. There's a big opportunity for us, but I have to go look at it today.
So then you go, I'll stay back here for the inauguration tomorrow. We'll do that.
We'll catch up day after tomorrow.
Okay, see you. I'd like to say I'm really impressed by how this country has changed over the years, and impressed how you have all built this great new facility.
So, in case you guys are not believing our automotive ambitions, hopefully by now you are believing our theatrical and Bollywood ambitions. So, just in case this doesn't work out, there is a future in something else. The next company will be launched, will be called Sofa Productions. Sunfather, Sofa, no. Okay, anyway. So, where are we with the 3CX10? On the customer side, we are practically there. No customer is larger than 10% of our business. That doesn't mean that we say no to business. We grow with the customers wherever there is opportunity, and of course work on the other customers to make it more and balanced as we get the growth opportunities. It's very important to realize that even on the countryside, we have biggest focus in India. It is our deep root. 24% of our business is still coming from our roots, which is India. And also important to realize that 57% of our exposure is in emerging markets, which is where we believe a lot of the growth is really going to come. The merger of SAMIL has significantly helped the diversification and also opened up new opportunities for us for growth in these new verticals, where we believe, just like we did with the mirror business, we will have opportunities to do large acquisitions and further balance this chart out. But then again, we have to follow where the opportunities are. And as you can see, India still remains a core focus and market for us, and so does the emerging markets. On the component side, wire harness is the largest part of our business. It's about 29%. But this is also changing as we continue to do more and more acquisitions. You have to understand, the biggest opportunities in acquisitions do come in the products that we're in. So we're not going to say no to those opportunities. But as the new verticals, the new industries, the new products continue to grow, these things will significantly help us to grow and balance out this 3CX10 component as well. The customer is giving us more opportunities, and we are confident that as we move towards 2025, you will see a lot more verticals and a lot more balance in this also come as we get closer to 2025. Now I'm moving to the next chapter, which is the chapter of ROCE. This is, of course, the fundamental philosophy of Motherson. We do not guide by margins. We do stay focused on ROCE. And this will take us to the next part of the movie, where I will chat with Rajat, who's heading our vision systems, and we're going to visit 2 plants. One is SMR's plant in USA, Michigan, and second, a polymer plant in Mate, where you will see that even though they have grown significantly in size in these locations, they have still managed to not only defend their ROCE, but increase ROCE, which is a bit counterintuitive to how people think about it. Let's see what they were able to achieve. Rajat,
How are you?
Good to see you.
Yeah, same here. So, how's your road trip going?
Oh, so far so good.
Yeah.
Traveling around the world.
Yeah, I know. Must be warm out here for you, yeah?
Yeah, actually, it's the weather is quite nice compared to the colder places I have to go after this.
I'm sure.
How are things going with you?
Yeah, all good. All good,
Yeah?
yes.
So how is our ROAS targets in the group looking, and why do you think they're so important?
Well, ROAS, you know, I mean, our philosophy at Motherson has always been that top line is vanity, bottom line is sanity, and cash in bank is the reality. So ROAS is one metric which I think combines the aspects of both cash in bank and profitability, and it's, I think, the real metrics to measure our operational performance. I think another thing what makes ROAS very important is that it touches and connects to everything and everybody in the organization, right? So if somebody is making an improvement on the shop floor, improving the machine utilization, for example, or somebody is saving space somewhere, so all of that has always a positive effect on ROAS. Yeah? So people can relate to ROAS and they can feel what difference they can make to the organization. Right? So that's exactly the reason why I think ROAS is very, very important for us.
And you know, our group is so diversified, so many different products. It's not one product. So it's, you know, EBITDA margins are misleading, right, in that sense.
I think you miss out on all these aspects, right? If you just focus on EBITDA, you don't worry about investments, you don't worry about efficiencies, you don't worry about utilization. Here now with ROAS, I think there is this very strong understanding in all the plants that we have to sweat our assets. We have to make the maximum out of them, right? Can we work in 4-shift pattern? Can we work 6 days? Can we work 7 days? So then those are the finer aspects that come out, you know, when you really look at ROAS. When it comes to ROAS, everybody can contribute in their small way, you know, in their own way. The tea is good, yeah, you can have some tea as well, yeah.
So Rajat, in Motherson, how are we dealing with all this volatility that's happening in the world today?
So look, we follow our mantra of breathe the market, right? So it's all about looking at all the costs. It is about eliminating the waste. It is about profit improvement projects that we start in the plants. And we are also working very closely with our customers, to address the inflationary impact that we are facing, right? So that is definitely going to be bringing improvements. And at the end, I think we've all seen in the past that you know, Motherson always emerges stronger once all these things settle down. So Motherson will always prevail.
So I'm looking forward to record those numbers from you in the future.
Absolutely, for sure.
So Rajat, which location should I go to next?
I would suggest you can go to Made Pune. I think that's another good plant doing very well in ROAS. And then last but not the least, you should go to SMR USA, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Samit, this plant looks completely different from where we started. You know, we had a lot of trouble in this plant when we first got it. It was completely negative ROAS. You've done a wonderful job.
I think everything which could go wrong in a plant, this was an example of what went wrong. Low utilization, equipment not really maintained, people not really having so much focus, etc., which all resulted in a very demotivated team.
What do you think was the single most important turning point of all this success?
The biggest pivot was this paint shop. Paint shop, as you know, is a very high capex driven item, and when we changed the manual to an automatic paint shop, that was our biggest turning point. And kudos to the team here which made that happen and did not stop any deliveries to the customer. But it was a very difficult job because it was already running.
Wow, you completely changed it without even stopping affecting the customer's line at all.
Yes, sir.
But that is an amazing example of improvisation because you guys really got it right. So investing in the paint shop was one thing. But how did you change the morale of the people to get behind this, improvement culture?
What we did actually, we have called all the people and we have told them what is Kaizen. All across the plant we were getting all suggestions. So that was the key of the this thing.
And that dramatically improved your QC, DD, MSES rating and everything went up from there.
CO2 we are flooding on this bumper to remove all particles.
Same paint shop, just with the automation and nearly 1/3 of the workforce which used to be in the paint shop. So that productivity gain really motivated everybody and improved quality, improved productivity and 100% delivery. Another great actual rose story of this plant is every equipment that you see is made by Motherson. This assembly line is made by Motherson, the Pokayoke is made by Motherson. The chilling plants are made by Matsui. The robos on the machine are by Robis. Everything that you can see is a Motherson vertically integrated plant, and hence it's really it's a system which
I actually remember coming to this plant when the customer was upset. It wasn't a customer meeting, it was a customer beating.
That's right. Don't want to see those days again.
So gentlemen, what an amazing experience for me here. So such a transformation that's happened from where you guys were to the ultimate place, which is complete customer satisfaction. I'm really proud of what you guys are doing and you're really taking Motherson to the next level. Keep it up. All the best for the growth. Look forward to seeing you again. Great job done. Really proud of you. All the best. Take care. Bye. And which is the most popular color?
Most of the color is white.
The country with the maximum dust, the most popular is white. So here we are in Michigan to see SMR plant in Marysville. It's a very special plant. It has grown significantly in size since Motherson took this company over. In fact, 7x over the last 12 years. But the more special bit is that it has maintained and grown its rows while growing in size. So we're going to go there and talk to Shri, who is heading this plant, exactly how he's done it. It's great to see you after such a long time.
Thank you. Welcome, Waman.
Thank you. We're happy to be back in the plant, And
we're super excited to see you.
Thank you. And what an amazing factory setup and floor that you have. This has always been one of the benchmark plants for the vision systems. It's been a benchmark for rose delivery, significantly since we started. How have you done this?
Thank you for the kind words, Waman. It's the entire team of Motherson that has contributed directly or indirectly onto this whole journey of it. So when Motherson came on board, and as the stability came through, the customers came around, and then we started winning more business and more business, which required us to grow in multiple folds. But during that time frame, we had to make a decision on whether we expand here locally or we expand in another place, like even in a different country. Then as a team, we all sat together with the guidance of the group and everyone. So what we came around is the best way to capture or seize this moment of exponential growth is double down right here and bring in more people through training and all that. The results would be phenomenal.
Rather than going somewhere completely new and starting from scratch.
Exactly. And the thing is, being close to the customer always pays back. because you are right there, you can get the ideas from there, you can take the requirements from there and be able to deliver them right away.
Fantastic. But you know, when you're growing, of course, there's pressure on ROAS, right? How did you break up this ROAS target and make sure that you guys never went down on ROAS and continue to increase it?
So with this growth, we were able to reduce our overhead structure. So for example, you set up 2 plants, you need different management structure and all that stuff.
Correct.
Right now we operate 6 plants around over here.
Wow.
And all in one management structure. Every level of the organization, they have objectives, the subset objectives, not just the ROAS number, that like what needs to be worked on, and it is drilled down to the entire organization.
So you break it down into sub-segments, and if everybody delivers there, automatically you deliver the top line.
To deliver in ROAS and all the other aspects of the business.
Fantastic, Sri. Sri, I'm so excited to see all the new product launches that are going to come on, not just the legacy cars, but also the new age platforms. And it's so proud that, you know, your products here, our products here together are going to be on those cars to be a part of Motherson. I'm so proud of you. Well
Awesome.
done.
Thanks,
Great
Ram.
to see you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we will be submitting this movie to the Oscars this year in the category of Best Corporate Movie. Looking forward to your support and votes to make this a winner and add to our portfolio. So, but in all seriousness, you saw real impacts of ROAS. Sometimes you have to invest in companies to be able to deliver a better ROAS. It is a bit counterintuitive sometimes. Sometimes, you know, you have to understand that they obviously in the shorter impact, in the shorter time frame, putting more investments in reduces the ROAS, but by doing that, if you can significantly improve the efficiencies, reduce the customer defects, delight the customer, actually that pays back in multifold. So you saw a real example of how investing results in increase of ROAS, and that's why we tell you that it is actually an art. It's actually something that takes 5 to 7 years to really build a company with sustainable advantage. You have to think about the long term, and that's why there's a journey where we give our plants up to 5 years to be able to hit that 40% ROAS. Is not something that happens overnight. We also saw how engagement of the teams, really breaking it down, taking the ROAS, giving it to individual departments and the people, and investing in where we are already in high-cost countries, right next to the car makers, being able to take their direct feedback also results in significantly increasing business and therefore increasing ROAS. So as I move forward to the next slide, CapEx is a big impact on ROAS. And as you can see, Motherson over the last few years has significantly reduced our CapEx in the sense that all the investments that were required for the new order wins, for our order book that I showed you before of record, those investments are already there. Don't let again the FY22 number put you off. That's because of the merger of SAMIL, and all of those increase in the SAMIL companies of CapEx also came. But in general, as you can see, the overall trend is in a very positive direction. And as the uptick in the volumes that I showed you earlier, this CapEx that we have already invested is good enough to take us into the future and deliver both top line and bottom line result, again getting us close to the 2025 mark. The second thing that we do, which is very pertinent to increasing the ROAS, is keeping a focus on each and every unit. We don't look at companies on a consolidated basis. As you can imagine, we have more than 310 facilities in the group. It's very easy for us to consolidate and only look at it as a company, but no, we go down to the unit level. Every single year, each and every unit gives us a budget of what they are going to produce, what CapEx they're going to use, and how they're going to drive to profitability. As we are going and we're acquiring different companies, SICK companies, companies in greenfield, there are going to be companies which we call red units, which are EBITDA loss making. Then there are companies that we classify as yellow units, which are EBITDA positive, but EBIT still negative. And green units, which are both EBITDA and EBIT positive. Our endeavor is to focus on these red and yellow units and push them towards green, and push the green units even into further green with our focus and complete diligence, working with those teams in those units and pushing them further and further. I'm proud to say that as compared to 15-16, where we had 37 red and yellow units, through very focused efforts and very diligent work done by the teams, already 26 of them are green. Even though 11 are red and yellow, because of the current macroeconomic environment, I'm sure these 11 will too, in very short time, be in green, which again will push the rows further up for those units. Next slide. I'm going to give you an example of a company. This was in the shock absorbers company, which again we were asked by the customer, handpicked by them to look at this company. They were loss-making in FY16. Motherson came in, worked together with a partner. In a very short period of time, already got it down from a red unit to a yellow unit, achieved break even, made the necessary investments in there, won the new customer orders, and now, as you can see, in the first half is already delivering close to a 20% ROS. This too, in the next couple of years, will progress towards that 40% ROS. So this is an art at Motherson. This is something that we have perfected. There are many such examples where we go where nobody else wants to go. Go to these troubled companies, go to these sick companies, use the Motherson DNA, the tried and tested formula of our operational excellence, our DNA, inject it, handhold it, and convert them to a green unit. If you move to the next slide, you will see this is a scatter graph of all our units. You will see that there is still a few units which are in the red and yellow category. This is what we are going to be focusing on for the next 2.5 years. If we take these red and yellow units and convert them to break even, already our ROS will double at the group level. If we are able to convert these red and yellow units and be able to deliver the average profitability of what we are having at the green, our ROS triples up. So, in summary, we're not too far from being able to hit that 40% ROS. It's completely possible. Of course, we have to have some luck with the macroeconomic environment as well, but every single effort is being made by our teams in a focused manner on every single unit to try and get them into that green zone and be able to hit that 40% ROS. Not only on the operational side, this is where MTSL, this is where the software side, this is where the real genius of Motherson comes in. Because of course, there are only so much you can drive on the operational side, but if you can supplement it with our own automation, low-cost automation, what we are doing in Chennai, we are building our own AGVs, building our own software for cobots, using digital boards, using ways that we can reduce the cost in the high-cost countries by bringing Motherson-built, Motherson-designed software and hardware and be able to reduce the cost. That adds a huge layer for us to be able to increase our profitability and keep the business in-house where we would give it to outside suppliers. Not only that, we have successfully built in the last 5-year period a global strategic procurement office based out of Dubai, which now, with the use of technology, can give information to any unit of ours worldwide which is the best supplier at the best cost for what they want to purchase. It's a huge database, it's a huge advantage because everything is consolidated in one area and everybody can drive advantage and procure now at the best cost possible for the entire group. Finally, the management have a complete free hand in the sense they are completely empowered and responsible. They build and choose what MIS systems they want to see. What are the information systems they need from the group, depending on their product, depending on their customer, depending on their location. What do they want to see? And our software company very quickly transforms that into a software which takes a lot of the value add work out, and the teams again can get real-time information from their operations and be able to drive business decisions which improves ROS and helps Motherson, hit that 40% target. So I would like to summarize this chapter as well. What are the key drivers that is going to help us get to that 40% ROS? Of course, I spoke about the lower capex. With the end of the capex cycle, there is very little that needs to be invested now to be able to deliver on our order book. And as the macroeconomic situation improves, There will be normalization of the working capital. This will result in a lot of cash being freed up from the companies. As you can imagine, with the semiconductor shortage, we've all had to sit on a lot of inventory because we don't know when the customer will start and go. Also, with the other issues that are there, we believe that this will settle down the next couple of quarters and a ton of cash will be released. Our focus on the red and yellow units, again on the budgeting cycle this time, we are going to be relentless trying to push the red and yellow units into the green zone and push the green units to do even better. And that again will result in higher profitability and higher ROAS for the group. And finally, like I said, as the macroeconomic condition eases up, the volumes uptick, it's a no-brainer. We'll have economies of scale, we will be able to use the leverage, and we will get as close to that 40% target as we can. And I'm quite confident you will see this happen in the next few years. With that chapter complete, I'm moving to one of the last few chapters in the entire presentation, which is on dividend payout. This is quite important to all of you as investors and us as shareholders as well. You will see that throughout the history of Motherson, we have maintained the dividend payout even in some of the most tough conditions, such as the global financial crisis or during COVID. We actually increased the payout ratio for our shareholders. This shows a lot of discipline by our operating teams, a lot of focus, made sure that we conserved cash and paid cash out when we knew that there was a need of cash to be paid out, yet conserving enough to be able to invest in our company and go for growth. So our payout ratio has been maintained. In fact, we've even exceeded it in the last few years in some of the most tough times that you have seen on the automotive side. And that will remain for the foreseeable future. Now I'm going to take your attention away from numbers and go into another very key theme in Motherson that has been developing over the last few years, and this chapter is about sustainability. Sustainability is becoming increasingly important for all of us. I think Motherson has taken a bold step and have declared our ambitions in sustainability, and we really want to be a leader here in the steps that we are taking to make sure that we can deliver our goals of sustainability as we move forward. Next part of the movie is me talking to Barry, who's responsible for sustainability in our group. He's here. You'll be able to talk to him afterwards as well. And you will see how sustainability is taking center stage in Motherson in everything that we do, still while keeping our growth ambition and target intact for 2025. Let's have a look.
Fancy a drink?
Yeah, very much. But not that.
You've taken up the responsibility of taking sustainability forward in our group. How do you think we're faring right now?
You know what? I think the progress we've made in the last 2 years to really embrace all of the aspects of sustainability across the group is fantastic. But you see, this is all fresh erosion.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just come around here, just nibbles away at it, and then boom.
Oh, no.
Don't get too close, it's too windy.
Wow. Is the water usually cleaner just because it's windy?
Oh, it's just mucked up sand.
That's cold, huh?
10 degrees maybe? Yeah, oh yeah. 12 at the top. Oh, and actually, it's not at its coldest yet. It's still cooling down. You know, it's maybe wasn't the very first thing that we were thinking about when we started hearing about sustainability from the customers, but now all our stakeholders are interested. We've really addressed that topic within the group. Ultimately, of course, bringing it into our vision statement for the first time to change that since 1995. And I think that's a fantastic thing because it's allowed everybody to understand how important that is to Motherson. It would be easy for us to just describe this and say, yeah, we can do this, we can do that and everything, but to have third-party organizations like the United Nations Global Compact or the assessments that are done by these rating providers looking at us and saying, where are we? That's really important because it gives a foundation that people then believe in and that we can build on.
And it's the first time I think that even the entire ecosystem, customers, suppliers are all saying, hey, we understand that initially it may be a solution where we have to invest some money in, and then eventually we'll get the cost efficiencies down the line. But everybody's really willing to make that investment, including us.
Doesn't need to be seen as something that's going to take a long period of time for us to see the benefits from, to balance that financial performance with doing the right thing from the point of view of our vision. And I think that's a learning experience, talking about economic circularity, how we learn that actually being more sustainable in what we do is actually good for profitability, good for the bottom line, good for return on capital employed when you talk about making those investments.
That's fascinating, Barry. And what I'm seeing when I'm going to some of the plants is that also we're investing in newer materials which are actually more recycled or which will be dumped away, thrown away. We're actually bringing them back and giving them a second life and saying, and the customers are actually appreciating it, and the end customers who are buying these products are saying, hey, they want more of these things. So it's becoming a lot more normal to have reuse stuff than stuff which is
exactly. And I think that reuse, it can be applied the whole way through the business. We talk about reusing materials, we talk about reuse of energy, reuse of water, and how water is used in our facilities, and looking at how we can get to that carbon neutral ambition that we've set for ourselves across all of our operations by 2040 or earlier. For some customers, of course, are pushing us for earlier dates, and we can do that. Introducing sustainability into our Do 33 initiative is seeing the opportunity for the operating units and people in the shop floor to come up with their ideas and suggestions and push those things forward, and get visibility of that right up to the top with yourself and your father. And I think that's fantastic. The momentum is now there, for sure. And what we're able to communicate and talk to both within Motherson and externally to our customers, the investors, to all of our stakeholders, there's so much that we can do now. It's fantastic.
So Barry, where do you think I should go from here to look at some of these things that are happening in our group?
Well, the great thing about that is I could give you a really, really long list now because there's so much happening. But if I was to narrow this down, we talk about planet, what matters for us in terms of the environmental sustainability, probably in the UK plant for SMR, the Vision division. For sure, the lighting and electronics division, probably Pune in India would be a great location. They're really advanced with energy management and how they're dealing with that. On the people side, I think you should go and see one of our biggest plants in Tuscaloosa, USA. A lot of people there, and I think you'll hear some great things about the people side of sustainability. And probably go to one of our newest plants in Serbia for the wiring harness. It's a new environment where Motherson's really growing. So again, some great things to see there.
Well, you put a lot of places on my list. As long as it's not as windy as this place.
I can't guarantee that. Right? I can't guarantee.
We need to harness this wind too.
We're doing environment. It's environment, and it matters to us. And on governance, you see, we talk about governance as being the foundation. So it sets a platform upon which we do everything we're doing. And I think for that, you should go back to the origins that you know well of the Motherson Group, the wiring harness in India, in Noida. That'd be a great place to go to think about governance.
Well, I'm excited to get going, Barry.
All right.
It's great to see you, mate.
All right.
Good seeing you, mate.
Take care, bud.
Best restaurants in the world here in UK. You wouldn't have thought so. What are you hearing from the customers? How important is sustainability to them?
So the customer sees sustainability as a key part of our business now. They are telling us that there is an important roadmap that they want us to be part of.
So the eco line's up here. So this is where we're making what we call the eco mirror. The customer asks us a question. Innovation starts with a question mark, doesn't it? How do we make it smaller? What do we got to do? We've got to reduce drag. We want to electrify our fleet. So what we did is we invented. This is the product here. I won't touch it, just in well. Don't let the boss see me. Well, you are the boss. I can do what. So we reduced the size of the mirror by 30%. If we took a range impact of that mirror, it's about 25% better than a conventional mirror.
Completely engineered and concepted here, right here.
Right here. We're selling from here today to China. Volvo want to talk to us about another product on their big sellers. It's all very good. First to market,
Amazing.
first in the world. Very proud.
That makes me proud standing here and seeing it happen.
Thanks for saying
Well
that.
done.
Thank you.
And Craig, what are we doing specifically at this plant for sustainability?
Well, it really plays into what you've just been seeing with Steve and the actual eco mirror itself, and therefore we decided that we should look at our processes too. And so one of the things we started to look at first of all was our energy, and I'm really proud to tell everybody that we have now wind energy as our only source of energy for our plant. So lean, clean, green for us is something that a little bit of a buzzword that we use around, and lean for us now is making sure that we invest in the processes and the plant. So we've insulated, removing drafts from the building, and we're making sure that when we buy smart. And then with clean, we'll talk about the next stage of evolution, which is the transport costs. How do we want to power our vehicles? And that'll be the next stage of what we do. All the way through to the end game for us, which is 2040, or even earlier if we can do so on that roadmap for actual green.
Phenomenal. SMR UK leading the way to our sustainable future. Great job.
Thank you.
Safety first. So it's really amazing to see all the solar panels on top of our plant.
Yeah, we started very early.
You know, it's really always surprises me that you were doing this even before the ESG drive became a phenomenon.
Yeah, well, I have to be honest here. We didn't know the word sustainability when we started. We started way back in 2014, and we looked at it purely as how to make our products more competitive. So we looked at it from a very commonsensical point of view that every waste that you reduce will help make your product more competitive. So we looked at energy, we looked at reuse of materials, we looked at water conservation, and it just so became that the word sustainability became such a big thing, and we were already on our way to kind of move in that direction.
So tell me about the certification. There's a special certification also now for.
Yeah, so there is a certification called ISO 50001. ISO 50001 certificate.
Recognition from the government that we are making progress in sustainability.
What it does is basically it validates all the work you're doing towards energy conservation. That's a very important step. It's a motivating factor as well for people to.
Does everybody know about the sustainability drive, and are they all into it?
Last year we won it from the government of India as the most energy efficient unit in the entire country. And so with that pride, there's a lot of motivation. I think they are very, very convinced that this is the way to go.
I hope we can share all of this with all our plants, not just in India, but globally as well, all the learnings.
So we are trying our best, and we are using the sustainability program that we are driving globally to try and push this out to the entire Indian region and maybe to the globe as well.
The only thing left to do, Vishal, is finding solar panels that work in the rain. Always make sure one hand is holding. Thank you. Really enjoyed myself. Literally being on the top of the roof.
That was fun. About my first time. Thank you so much, Raman, for the visit.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much. See you later.
Bye. And off to the next one.
everyone. Come, sit in the car. We'll take you to PKC Serbia. Why PKC Serbia? Because PKC Serbia, when I came here first time, 2017, were just 200 people. They got a lot of orders from the truck companies all over the world, and this company had to grow from 200 people to 4,000 people. And we are going to talk to George, who is the HR manager, to find out how he did it, the challenges, and how he overcame those particular things. People are at the heart of Motherson. Whatever technology, whatever business that we are into, and the local people here, the job comes to them, and they then create some of the most amazing products that our customers love. Our customers here are Volvo trucks and Mercedes, and they do a phenomenal job in satisfying them continuously, every day.
Welcome, Mr. Segal.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Smederevo. Last year, we had, I think, the most diverse plant in the whole Motherson group. We have all ages coming from 18 to 65.
Wow.
Yeah, and we are also pleased that we have 2/3 of our employees are ladies. Actually.
That's excellent.
This is very, very nice. With new people and new different cultures, there are different views, and this is basically enriching our environment to the ways how we are looking at things.
Because you get so many new solutions.
Exactly.
Everybody has a point of view, but it's also inclusive.
At the moment, we are hiring around 40 disabled people, providing them with a good job and opportunity to earn money for themselves and their families.
The people are the backbone, and if we can take care of them and the society where they are, that's great contribution back to them. Oh, that's
We
excellent.
have a team spirit, open communication.
It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Me
Thank
too, very,
you.
very, very, very much.
I'm learning Serbian, so I've learned the first word.
Sreća.
Sreća.
Okay, we are now in the training center. This is where it all starts. We are here to grow our people from operator to technician to junior engineer, and so on.
You capture the spirit of Motherson very beautifully. Oh, that's a complicated harness.
360 trucks per day.
Per day. Wow, wow. When people don't see growth, they are very worried what will happen to the company. So growth gives them hope. Hope gives them stability. Stability to make a life.
You mentioned, the growth gives perspective, and in the future this is the case, but it also brings at the moment a lot of challenges.
It makes your life interesting. If the challenges stop, then boring.
Hey, mister. This is from cards.
Oh,
Made
thank
for
you.
you.
It's made
Thank
of
you.
scraps, but it's from our parts.
Goodbye.
Thank you. And it's sustainable.
Yeah, that's right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Heading back to what used to be home, passing by those little towns I know so well. And every bend goes to new end.
So we're in Alabama now, the largest polymer plant for Motherson Group, making big parts for our customers here in the US. And look at these beauties. These are the parts that we make over here. I mean, if you look at a car from the front, our products are the first thing that you see on the car. Pretty impressive. John and Ron, it's great to see you back at the plant. It's been a few years, but I must say that it's completely changed and the energy is just infectious. You guys have done a wonderful job here.
Well, to be honest with you, the miracles aren't in here. The miracles are out there. The team members, when we did start, we had tremendous issues. And I remember one quick thing, I was only here 2 weeks, and we needed to work over Thanksgiving weekend. And I asked team members, and I had 6 team members that were willing to work with me in my first 2 weeks all 4 days hand building bumpers for the customer.
Hey, how are you?
And that showed me the power of our team members here at Motherson's. I have 1,600 people here that I work for, support, to help them be successful, be safe, have opportunities to grow. If they did not have the tool, was to get them the tool. And the team members respond and grow. And through that process, we've grown more team members internally than we brought in from the outside into leadership roles.
Completely visible in the things that you've done here, John. That's amazing. Rhonda, I remember your first day here. The situation was in such a chaos, but you showed true grit and leadership.
It was really bad that first day I came in. We walked around together and talked to the employees, understand what the issues were with the employees, and try to build their trust again, try to get systems in place that worked. It was a lot of work. It wasn't something we did overnight, but we had a good group of employees.
Really looking forward to the growth opportunities here, and you guys are doing an amazing job. So I'm so proud of everything that you guys have done here.
Well, thank you. You think of how powerful empowerment is. 1,600 team members come up with one idea each. How powerful is that?
And it allows me to make an excellent part for Mercedes.
Actually, I love those people because they want to be part of our future success and growth.
There was no promotion opportunities here before. So we put that open door policy in place so that we could talk to the employees, understand who had what skill sets we needed. We put that promotion opportunity in place and started promoting everybody.
I began Motherson in 2018 and I was homeless at the time, and this Motherson has granted me the opportunity of becoming a junior quality engineer, which has grown successful for me, and I look forward to opportunities in the future.
And we're a family at home, and we're also a family at work.
Because they are family. I can't say that enough.
Now I know where your nickname Papa John comes from in the circle.
That's true.
It doesn't matter where you come from. You just need hard work, dedication to it, to have a good flow going on at this job.
Used to be home where every mile is a new beginning and every bend goes to new end.
To be honest, in the electric engine, sometimes I miss the sound of the engine, but the honking makes up for it though. Now we're off to a wire harness plant in Noida, India, to explore more about sustainability and governance in Motherson.
And we do a awareness campaign and training for all the employees to understand how important the code of conduct is. A very new policy which has been introduced, like inclusion and diversity policy, anti-harassment policy, and this diversity and inclusion policy is bringing a lot of balance in the organization. We are making sure that all employees are covering by these training programs and
So Anurag, what are the solutions that we are developing together with our customers to be able to hit their sustainability targets?
We are developing the high voltage electrical system, and it's in all the segment. It's not restricted to only PV, it's passenger vehicle, commercial vehicle, two-wheeler, across all the industry. So it is not we have to, we want to be.
And I'm so glad to see that India is not behind any of the other countries. And that's a fantastic feeling that we're leading together with our global companies this drive in Motherson. And now let's have a glass of water.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So we saw real sustainability at work at Motherson. You saw that we are transitioning ourselves to renewables. I was on practically the roof of our facility in Pune, seeing the solar panels at work, not just driving electricity from renewable sources, but also driving our teams, such as our engineering teams, to be more sustainable. That resulted in development of the Eco Mirror, which you saw in UK. Actually, driving sustainability in the group is opening up more platforms for revenue growth as well. The Eco Mirror has been a huge success. The customers are wanting more of it for the new vehicle programs, and you will see a lot of that come in the future as well. The units now do believe that sustainability and better financial performance go hand in hand. As you saw, Vishal's unit was able to demonstrate that with the investments that he had made in sustainability and those solar panels. And that's again something that is being replicated in our group worldwide. Finally, it is about people, it is about equality, it is about giving people all the opportunity in the world, equal opportunity for all, and giving them an ability to drive their ambition to no limit. Finally, it has to be surrounded by governance, making sure that all these things that we are wanting to implement are happening with the highest code of conduct, and that's something that we are doing through our training programs and awareness for the people. To show you how strong sustainability really is and the importance it has in Motherson, for the first time, we've actually amended our vision since 1997 and added the word sustainable in our vision. So it is now to be a globally preferred sustainable solution provider to show to all our employees, all our family members, and all our customers that everything that we are going to do is going to be driven with that overhang of make sure that it is sustainable. We are serious about sustainability. We have also developed our own logo of sustainability, which encompasses 3 main areas that we are going to focus on: the planet, the people, and having strong governance to make sure that everything that we are doing has a real impact and we can continue to grow while making sure that we're sustainable while doing it. Just like our customers, we too have set an ambitious target to be carbon net zero for all our current operations by 2040. You will see a lot more progress on this as you read our annual reports, as we continue to disclose all our efforts in this direction. So, in summary, we are building Motherson for the long term. We want to be good global citizens while we are doing it. We want to help build a world which we are all happy to live in, and we can proudly pass it on to future generations even better than where we found it. Finally, I'm at the last chapter of our story here today, and I bring you back to where we started, our purpose. And I'm going to summarize everything that we do from this as well. Everything flows for us at Motherson from our purpose. Our ambition that I spoke to you about the start, how we create value for all our stakeholders, how we create sustainable jobs for all the people here at Motherson. And finally, we become something larger. What better way to show this to you by the final part of our movie? And here you will see how we really spread the philosophy of Motherson, keep it intact, even though we grow quite rapidly in these tough times. Please enjoy the last bit. Breakfast of Champions. So here we are in Lisbon, Portugal. Just woken up in time for a meeting with Andreas. I'm going to talk to him about something very important, the Motherson purpose.
Wow. These waves are something. If only I was a surfer. Is that him? Andreas! Are you there?
Come here!
How did you get up there?
Look at this!
Woo! We're talking about something very important. Why have you brought me here to talk about it?
No, first of all, we're here because we have the HR conference in Portugal, and when I passed by, I saw that scenery. And I thought, what are we going to talk about? You will talk about, well, Motherson is bigger than ourselves. This is exactly showing that there is something bigger. There is something bigger which we are creating for our own people, which we are creating for our stakeholders. Yeah, I just thought, wow, this is exactly what it is. It is more than us. There is more than me standing here. It resonates very well to that.
You're right. How are we really making sure that this purpose, this DNA, this culture that we talk about gets really imbibed in all the people that we are talking to, because we're growing very fast.
That's why we have started to create ambassadors to roll out that message and make sure that our HR people are actually attracting talents, training talents.
We're going to grow very rapidly. The fear I have is that we don't lose this immaculate understanding of this DNA and it gets lost somewhere. I think that's our job to protect it.
And I think that is where we start here in Portugal, to focus 2 days with the people and then convert it from there and growing from there.
Okay, here, Aida. I think the waves are getting bigger and the people are waiting. So let's go do this.
Can we go on the other side of the street, please? Otherwise, we are not reaching the conference.
As you can see.
Oh my God.
Been driving a bit.
Oh, it was very inspirational and very impressive. And you inserted very well the messages to the HR community, which is very important to us.
Thanks for that. You know, to go after such big goals, it's also important that they understand the purpose behind it.
We just launched a program, an HR talent development initiative called Program Everest, where we developed an HR methodology based on the Motherson DNA, which helps us to find the people on the labor market who are fitting to our core values.
Great. So our army is ready for the next challenge.
They are ready to climb the mountain.
Fantastic.
I'll see you.
I'm off for my next
art.
The next art.
Next art.
When he says art, he's referring to acquisitions, because we believe at Motherson, acquisitions is an art.
Não é suficiente pra cantar.
Hey, buddy.
Hey. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Comfortable driving here, or?
Yeah, I guess. It's like driving anywhere else. There's more chaos.
There's a lot more chaos.
You know, so Kunal, when I was, been to all our plants, well, not all, a lot of them in so many different countries, people were asking me everywhere, are our 2025 targets still intact? How are we going to get there? The only way I could really explain it to them was that, yes, it's part of our purpose to keep growing.
No, totally, I can't agree more. The best of opportunities come when the times are not so good, as we've seen in the past as well.
Yeah, so you're seeing a lot more opportunities now than we have before?
And there's at least 2 or 3 a day.
So I guess we have to maintain the financial discipline, right?
So yeah, 36 by itself, not a challenge, but I think, we always have to be pragmatic. I think stability is critical. We're building this for the long term. Again, I think the first step here was to keep the ship stable in the volatile times that we were in. The customers, the investors that we are carrying is all feeling comfortable with what we are doing. in a balanced way, which gives them long-term visibility of being here. We hope they're part of our journey forever, and we're able to take care of them as we move ahead as well.
I think that's what I really love about our company, is that we're looking after all the stakeholders, not just the investors, but also the communities, our people, and doing it in a sustainable and green manner.
We're only doing what nature is telling us. If you think about revenue growth, in nature you either grow or perish. Everything around is about growth. If you think about our 3CX10, it adds diversity. In nature, again, we're looking at biodiversity. Again, if you think about roast targets, the fruits provide the seeds and it kickstarts the life cycle again. And that's what we do. We use the roast to replenish ourselves, reinvest, and keep growing.